And so how present can we be? How present in the here now can we be in the life? The curious thing is that we wonder all sorts of things of how to, where everything relies upon presence. Everything is about just being. And in a way, all of the wondering how to is answered in presence, is answered in just being. We wonder how to be love. How is it that we are love? And it's not about expressing in a particular way. It's all about being. The being itself is love. The presence itself is the presence of love. The presence itself is the presence of God. So we don't have to work out how to be present and meet God. We don't need to work out how to be love. It's all in the presence of being. And when we rest in this ground of being, and we recognize, come back to the intelligence that we are, rooted in the source, we discover what we call the true nature. And the true nature isn't something that we need to learn how to be or understand. It's actually about coming back, returning to what has always been here and resting deeply. And so we could say presence is like the portal or the doorway, but it's also the all that is. It's like silence. Silence, which is the silence of being, the unmoving, unchanging, the pure awareness. And yet somehow it gets deeper and deeper as we refine, because our perception opens to be able to recognize it in subtler and subtler and more refined ways. And so just resting here, it opens up the ground of being. And from the ground of being, the intelligence that we are reorganizes and recalibrates. And it shifts our perspective of seeing so that we look upon the life and the lived experience from the principle of illumination, from the light that can actually see. We look upon from a perspective that has the capacity, the ability to see what is real, what is true. If we are trying to work it out with the mind, the perspective is limited. And so we are opening to a perspective of seeing that is unlimited and unchanging. And the curious thing is that in the presence of being, in knowing myself as the presence, knowing myself as the wide open field of being, everything is here. The grace and the glory, the wildness of the adventure, the beauty, the delight, the joy, the fun, the infinite possibility, it's all here. We're not rooting ourselves in a presence or a field of being that takes us away from life. We're rooting ourselves in a ground that allows us to engage and take part in life without the same kind of fear and conditioned patterns that can be driving us and creating stress and suffering. And so in a way, when we are wanting to see through the things that feel challenging or discordant in the play of life, it is about opening to this presence field, resting in the being, just being here and directly experiencing yourself as wider, vaster than the mind's imaginings, and certainly wider and vaster than the identities that we carry. We don't have to undo the identity. We don't have to do anything to let it go or release it. Again, through resting, through illumination, there's a naturalness that sees, a clear seeing that illuminates and sees where the holding patterns are. That the stress, the anxiety, the discordance, they are markers. They are telling us which direction to look in. And if we can rest as the being, as the field of presence, and look upon as the light, and receive as the love, transmute as the alchemical fire, life starts to shift naturally, reorganize, recalibrate, and reorient itself. And so when we speak of there being a simplicity to life, this is the simple mechanics of the consciousness that appears as life. And so as the words come, there's nothing to understand, just in the resting, receiving, and cognizing within the intelligence that you are in this wide open field of presence, the knowing of your own heart, that in a way what is being shared is not information that you are learning. It is a resonant remembrance of what you have always known and who you have always been. Everything that we are longing for can be found here. It's like the one-stop shop presence. It's all here. Our mind would never believe. And yet it's all about a reorientation that takes us out of the belief in separation and division, out of the belief that I am a victim to life, that the stories and challenges of my life are real on the level of division and separation. We're not saying that the experience isn't real, and we're not speaking about avoiding or bypassing in any way. We're actually speaking about how to engage in the fullest and most profound, direct way with everything, which is through the feeling field, which is being present with the energy in your nervous system, being able to be present with yourself without the distractions, without the numbing, without the avoidance, actually, because a lot of the thinking and the strategies are avoidance tactics. And of course, there's a lot of nuance to how we be with it, but ultimately being with the feeling field, and the deeper that we come into presence, it's a revelation that allows us to be so present with the feeling field in ways that actually it can be quite challenging to just stay with the feeling field, because we're so used to trying to process, thinking about it, trying to work it out, fix it, change it. And even if we know that that isn't the way and it resonates as true, we somehow still do it. We find ourselves, oh, wow, there I go again. And so the unwinding of the habits, the unwinding of the conditioning and what is unconscious, the ways that these habits are protections, that these habits are not us doing something wrong. These habits are protections, and these habits have in some ways served us. And yet as we open, if our focus is to be resting as the presence, and that whatever is arising that feels discordant, stressful, challenging, that if we stop and we rest, instead of moving to the mind and trying to fix, that we open to a field of infinite possibility that can reorganize and recalibrate. And so as the words come, what is being spoken is also happening in the field. As we reorient and open wider and deeper and more subtly to the presence, the awareness itself is awake and aware, illuminating. And there's no one doing that. It's just happening. And so whatever is alive in your field, in your heart, whatever is alive in the life, as we rest in the presence here, you can bring your attention to the feeling field, the nervous system, and just come into an even more subtle attunement with what is here. It's like an openness that welcomes everything just as it is, just simply being here, looking upon the field. And so we also speak about the field being one essence, a unified field, where the essence of all is the same. And again, we can come to wonder, well, how do I come to know that? What do I have to do? How do I come to that realization? And again, it's a natural unfolding in the intelligence, because the truth is the essence of everything is already the one essence. So when we come to presence in this wide open field of being, when we come to feel the resonant vibration, the frequency of our own resting, our own essence, it's here in the aliveness of the field that the frequency of all is revealed. So just noticing what is happening in your direct experience in this moment, and just being here. What happens in the resting? What happens in the invitation to be here as the field of presence, of silent being? The natural intelligence starts to coalesce the lived experience. And that coherence is bringing everything to a lived, felt sense of it all being one. And so whatever is happening, wherever you have come from, whatever flavor your day has taken on. Whatever is in your heart, whatever is planned for dinner, whatever is in your field of experience. When we come to presence, we join and we share in a field that is the same, and it doesn't matter where we are. Nothing that differentiates us matters, because we join in the one, as presence, as this field of silent being. And we rest here. We allow the intelligence itself to reorganize itself, reorchestrate itself. It offers the possibility of the perspective of seeing shifting. It offers the possibility of us being a little more inclusive of things that we maybe wanted to resist. It offers the possibility of a new insight coming. It offers the possibility of relaxation, softening. It offers the possibility of conditioning and identity falling away. And it offers the possibility of the revelation of your heart coming into a more refined attunement. And it also offers this graced possibility that what you are truly longing for in this life is here. And we could say that that is true on the level of longing for freedom, to know yourself as love, wholeness, coherence with the divine, whatever it is, however the words would come, but also on the level of being able to live and express in the human lived experience the fullness of your creativity and love and uniqueness and wildness and beauty. And so everything is here. And the more that we come into this collaboration with the intelligence that we are made of, we open to this intelligence. And this intelligence starts to cohere our field. And it also starts to refine and bring a more subtle perception online. It opens us to the light that illuminates. And it also allows us, as we illuminate and we, through that illumination, we see, we include, we transmute, and we alchemize what is discordant in the field. So we really allow everything to be here, and we use the feeling field to reorganize our resistances and our defenses just by being with it all. And it's like what feels to be discordant, what feels to be shadow, what feels to be unconscious comes into the light of consciousness. And that light starts to be embodied in our lived experience. And as we are embodying this light, we are being upgraded and up-leveled multidimensionally. And our systems are being recalibrated, being activated. And what has been dormant in our consciousness starts to come online and bring a greater capacity, a greater ability to be with life, meet life, and to express and embody the fullness of what we are opening to. So again, everything is here. Everything is here. And it's not that we need to just sit here in presence, not at all. For sure, we're going to be drawn to rest in presence and to sit in presence and keep remembering this wide open field of being that we are. But it's about being this as we move in the life, as we move in the relational field, as we move in our lived experience. Because it's the life itself that is the means for the upgrades and the transformation, the deeper recognition to happen. And it's this ability to know that presence never goes anywhere. Everything is included, everything is the same one. And so it's this ability to be rooted in the knowing of this, wherever we are, whatever we're up to. And to know that if something discordant comes in or challenging comes in, that it's exactly the gift of grace, the opportunity that we are asking for, that will invite us to come to this presence and this openness and meet whatever is here that feels to be discordant or challenging or disparate and fragmented in the experience, and bring a reconciliation in the heart, bring a reconciliation of what seems to not be love and of the same essence to the essence and the oneness through the nervous system, the consciousness and the lived experience. And natural coherence happens.